opinions affect me. I do what I want to do. If they do or they don't accept me, they expect me to give up. I almost did. Things went from moving faster, slow motion. I was losing focus, stuck on that. It was smooth on the surface, but underneath it was broken. Hoping to find hope in this hopeless world we live in. What you give is what you given. Gotta make wise decisions. Gotta stay tunnel vision. Gotta avoid collision.
All right, Coach, first opened back in 2017. There's a look at the gleaming new Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Atlanta Falcons. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. And room to run as he's up past the 35-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. On second down, here's Rodgers. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Takk McKinley. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. Little trouble thus far on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 11. Throwing is Rodgers. He's going to sling this deep downfield. This is caught inside the 15. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. A first chance in the red zone for the Bengals now. They've got a 1st and goal just inside the 5. They'll run here with John Kelly, and they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. That gets him 3 yards closer here as it brings up 2nd and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
They'll give it to him up the middle. And he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Bengals. Trey Madden, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bengals take it right down and score on the opening drive. Extra point tacked on by Lambeau. And that makes the score 7-0. Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Now the first carry for Ronald Jones. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. And what they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And it's complete. Hooper. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Watch him now, Barney. Barney.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Jordan Evans not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz and takes him down for a loss of 9. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19,
right, now,
and the road gets a bit tougher from here.
Watch him now, Barney. Barney.
It's intercepted. Picked off. They told us repeatedly they got one.
And don't think they were above all week long, pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs. So they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them.
Let's go, hey, let's go, come on. And 319.
Throwing on 1st down is Rodgers. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that, because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. And you know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
Here's Breida. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Now Rodgers. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down. He was all over that route defensively. Now, they had 2 picks last week as a unit. Couldn't quite grab that one.
Patience, Grasshopper. Patience. Early in this game, but you like the fact that they're around the football early. They're going to be upset they didn't haul that one in, but at least they're there at the moment of truth to make a play on it.
By the way, where did the Grasshopper thing come from? I know it's been around for a long time.
Yeah, you know, I'll have to tell you that some other time.
All right, back to football. The roughing the kicker called on 4th down. What a big break. Leads to a 1st and 10. They'll pitch it to Kelly. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Hurry up, hurry up.
They come out here in the eye. Again, this is Kelly. And he is in. Touchdown, Bengals. John Kelly, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Bengals add on to their lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board.
Gun, gun! Gun, gun! Watch you now, Barney! Barney!
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Steps away to his left. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. He's got him in. Complete. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10.
Detroit! Over!
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. William Jackson with a pick. And a return out shy of midfield to the 46-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10. They'll start the drive here with an end around. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
it is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. You probably talked about since training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
319! Jump out! Coco, over here. Hey, check 26.
Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. Brandon Graham. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. On 3rd and long, it's Rodgers. He's going to wind up and air it out. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy. I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
They'll set up to throw. Flushed out right. On the crossing route, complete. It's Morrison. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. And a nice gain of 21 yards. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Detroit! Detroit! All right, here we go. 319!
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. And finding the tight end Hooper. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on 1st down for them. Brings up a nice 2nd down for them.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves them with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
Over!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Back to throw now on 1st down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. He's going to air one out. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10.
Over!
look to throw here. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And out now, here come the Bengals. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. A good pickup there, a 22.
Nice idea, nice concept there. Line him up on the left side of the formation, let him sneak his way across, coming back underneath, put it in his hands, let him get a few more yards after the catch, too.
Great way to utilize the tight end on the drag route. Rodgers now on 1st down. Wide open receiver complete. A really nice gain of 25 yards. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Now it's Breida. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a 1st down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Hey, check 26. 319. 319.
Now Rodgers throwing on 2nd down. And incomplete. Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
Now the Bengals on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Here's Rodgers. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Tack McKinley in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. Here's Sam Martin now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. Well, they're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of 1st downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 1st downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Over.
From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. And Owen coughed it up. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
The give is to Jones. And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. Two minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to Atlanta right after this timeout. They go play action here on first down. Rush coming, and he's taken down. And now the Bengal defense here calling a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Back to throw here. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. And now the Bengals are going to call another timeout as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
Lucky 56. Lucky 56.
He'll look to throw. Flush to his right. Now he'll let it go deep over the middle. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up fourth down.
Another dangerous throw there, partner. I mean, he's already thrown 2 interceptions here in the first half. I don't know if you want to keep throwing up 50-50 balls when you've had that kind of lack of success.
Yeah, absolutely. Very well could have been a 3rd interception in half number 1. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. There's really no reason to change what they've been doing to this point. They've got the lead. They've looked good this first half.
I agree with you totally, and a lot of coordinators, play callers feel exactly the same way. Until you stop what I'm doing, why should I make any changes? But there are a few that kind of outguess them.
And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. DeMarcus Walker. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long.
319.
Rodgers going to throw. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. DeMarcus Walker in there to drop him for his 2nd sack now here tonight. And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
And the penalty helps, but not a whole lot. It's still 3rd and long. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
And the penalty helps, but not a whole lot. It's still 3rd and long.
set. Hey, easy.
Like 22,
That's fine, yeah. Hey, check 26. Did we get it?
Working from the gun. Rodgers. The pressure too great, and he goes down once more. And the Falcons going to use another timeout as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number one. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you've got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. It's a loss of 10 yards on the play, and it'll make this a 2nd and long.
Watch it now, Barney.
They're going to look to throw. Now he'll go deep down the middle. And the defense loses him. It's complete. And they do finally get him down, but not before he reaches the 41. Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. So we have reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Bengals out in front. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. They'll run it here. This is Deontay Foreman. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give them a new set of downs.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they did.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. A give to Jones. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
Set. Green, 39.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. He sets to fire deep. And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off near the 26. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to surge forward for about 5 yards down to the 10.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
On second down, there's the option going left. And maybe the wrong read there as he's going to go down immediately. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play because you got to know, defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss. They haven't made much of this great starting field position they had. Here's 3rd and 6. From the gun, it's Rodgers. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he gets the first down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. It's a gain of 6. As they're able to convert, and now it's 1st and goal. First and goal, Kelly. And he gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4.
Well, the spotlight hit him once already tonight as he got into the end zone. He was trying to make it a double spotlight, wasn't he?
But credit the defense, bottling him up, not letting him get in for the second score there. 2nd and goal from inside the 5. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. On second down, here's Rodgers. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. In for the score. And the Bengals use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And that makes the score 21-0. Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. So out come the Falcons now. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. They'll try and get the running game going with Jones. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Again, it's Jones. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They'll set up a throw. He gets away from one. Forced out to his left. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
I'd love to know what he's saying in the huddle now to his guys up front, because it's been a steady stream of pressure on him this entire game. That time, able to avoid the sack, but he's got to talk to his offensive line and say, guys, just a couple seconds extra, please.
Now this Bengals offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. They built up that lead at intermission, and they're just continuing to pour it on right now, aren't they?
Locked into a really good groove right now. I don't know if it's just the play calling. I know the execution is really, really sharp right now, and all the playmakers are doing exactly what you expect. They're making plays, and right now, defense has no answer and no chance of catching up.
Yeah, they're just looking to turn anywhere for a stop defensively. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35.
319! 319! Hey, check 26!
Rodgers again here on 2nd and 10. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Rodgers looking to throw on 3rd and 2. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It's a Bengal first down, a pickup of 11.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide it. But the tight end drag route, definitely.
And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. DeMarcus Walker in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Grant. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? So they will accept the penalty and move forward. And the penalty makes this a much more manageable 3rd down, 3rd and 2. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
So what's the old expression that quarterbacks like to use when they decide to throw the football? I'm looking for either a touchdown or a check down. And he took the check down on that play, and it worked almost to perfection.
The 3 red zone trips, 3 touchdowns so far. They'll look for a 4th on 2nd and goal. Here's Rodgers to throw. That escapes the sack. And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this third quarter. Brandon Graham in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. Back now in Atlanta. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. Operating from the gun, Rodgers. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, fourth quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. Now the Bengals on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and goal.
That's fine, yeah. Zoom.
Now Rodgers operating from the gun. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to, or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
Not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one because holding them down was paramount. If they could get it done, well, guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here in the 4th. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He completes it to Julio Jones. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down from up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10.
Watch you now, Barney.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. So that one will be accepted. So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Being chased out left. Pushing through the contact. Maybe not exactly what they had in mind, but that scramble good for 6 and a 1st down.
Not sure how you feel about it, but to me, I think we're seeing it in front of our eyes. This league continues to change. Look at the moves you ordinarily get from a running back from the quarterback position.
Yeah, that's like a Le'Veon Bell type move right there, but you're exactly right. The game's kind of evolving in that way, isn't it?
Yeah, I think the quarterback is rapidly becoming an extra running back as well.
It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Over the middle, that's caught by Ridley. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. That goes for a gain of 31.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. Looking to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But the Falcons were able to recover, so they will keep possession. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. He'll get it up the middle, and he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line.
What a game this defense has played. They're pitching a shutout, so it'd be fun to watch down the stretch to see if their defensive coordinator continues to be as aggressive as he's been all game long.
This is 3rd and goal. Still looking for the first points of the game. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off down at the 2. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Thought they had something going there to break that goose egg here in the second half, but to no avail.
Hope was alive until that interception. What a terrific play, taking the ball away after it looked like they were starting a drive.
And now that shutout still standing. You know that's something those defensive guys hold a lot of pride on, too.
No doubt about it. They are excited about where they are in this game.
Hey, check 26.
So after the INT, it's Rodgers. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 20. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19. And looking to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
45.
Rodgers now on 1st down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. He got 29 yards that time. Rodgers now on 1st down. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
They run again with Breida. And a short gain down to about the 33. Tackle made that time by Brandon Graham. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. Now the Bengals on 3rd down. Not quite 50%. 4 for 9. This is 3rd and 9. Rodgers from the gun, he'll throw. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Tack McKinley in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. Now with just 1 second showing on the play clock, we're going to get a timeout as they stop it prior to what will be an important 4th down. So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. Well, they started that drive all the way back at the 1, able to march down, get 3.
It was daunting to begin with, wasn't it? But I thought overall, a very poised and efficient drive to get 3 points.
Here comes Ryan Switzer to return it. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
He's mine. Hey, keep it up.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Morrison. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
I always laugh when people say, "What's the toughest route to defend?" And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Back to throw. And he will find Ridley on the left side. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 15 yards through the air and a 1st down. Couple of 1st downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. They'll drop to throw. He's going to let it fly. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. The Pro Bowl wideout Julio Jones, his intended receiver. And it's 2nd down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw here. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man. And you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
The Falcons on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this for a short gain on what will prove to be the final play of this ball game. So, Charles, are able to complete what so often seems to be elusive, a shutout in the NFL. And maybe what's fitting is they ended the game on the field, that defensive unit on the field. What an exclamation mark.
And probably felt like they could go another 60 minutes without anyone putting points on the board against them. That's the confidence you gain throughout when you're pitching a shutout. And they're going to leave the stadium feeling like they're all 10 feet tall.
So for Cincinnati, they continue to put themselves in position for a first-round bye as they move to 8-2. And they'll get a few extra days to savor this one before they take on the Cleveland Browns. Meanwhile, for Atlanta, it's a bit of a setback as they drop to 6-4 now. And they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Carolina Panthers.